Hello, my name is Jubal. So today in this video, I want to talk about the reading literacy problems that's going on here in North America. So let's start on that. But I want to talk about my experience of reading. Growing up, like most child, we get curious of some stuff. We get lost into our own imagination, and I remember I used to read a lot. I used to have multiple books. But as I was growing up as a kid, I stopped reading books because some, when they were interesting, at the time. And I was growing up, my mom tried to help with my parents, tried to help me do reading. But in reality, it was the school forcing me to read because, I want to read my own time, so I never picked up reading again until middle school. I wanted to take a little bit serious because I want to do some writing, because the one thing in writing, you have to have really good vocabulary skills. So I picked up on that, and I found a book series that everybody's familiar with. It's called Percy Jackson. So I started reading, like most kids. You start reading and reading and reading. And then I stopped until I went to high school. I started reading and reading, a little bit because the English teacher forces us because he saw. And that's when I knew in high school was lowering the standards for kids to, understand, what's going on and, how to understand each word, each vocabulary in the English class. So that's that. And now I'm here. I want to take reading more seriously because I stopped reading. So the point of my experience that I'm one of those kids with a 5th grade Lexile level. That's how they measured it. And I'm not proud of it, because America, they were going a lot of changes. So us kids, now I'm an adult, so I'm hearing about kids, going to high school, going to college who can't read, or what they say, they don't have reading stamina, to read books for 15 to 30 minutes minimum. And not gonna lie, it hurts, but I can't say, oh, these kids are dumb, these people are dumb, they don't know how to write. And that's another issue, is writing too. Oh my God, I still remember we had that, what's it called, cursive writing, but they only teach us about that for 2 or 3 weeks, and that was about it. And one thing for sure, and I want to learn how to write seriously. I want to learn how to handwrite a little bit better, how to know what I'm doing, and so on. And the point I'm trying to make here is that America needs to fix is reading issues. Because it's not okay for a kid going to college or not, but you still gotta read. At one point, just for fun, and to boost your vocabulary skills. That's the benefit we always hear as growing up as us kids. You know, you hear, oh, you need to read because you want to understand each word better. You need to read hard books, or what they call it, the great books. You know, and I never pay attention until now. Everything that's going on. I think reading should be important, and I have a solution for people who have the reading level like I am, is to start reading comic books. Read books that has like drawings, like art, but also have a thought bubble where the characters are communicating. That's how I start. You start reading comic books first. Get the boost up your reading stamina. And then after that, or you could grab a little paper, write down the words that you don't know, and then you'll remember next time. Oh, that's what this word means, that word means, and so on. Next up is you read books with less images or art, with a little bit more words and a few arts. And later, once you master that, you move into books that are only full of nothing but words and no art. And that's how you boost your reading stamina and also your understanding what characters, the plot, and so on. But you see the point, right? You want to be able to read. The same goes for writing. I don't know what writing works, but all I know is that you need to have neat writing, because that's the only way, to understand. Or you're trying to do some legal papers and whatever, like business. You could write your checks, or you could write your name properly when you're signing contracts or not. So you get to understand feeling of what is happening. So, and I feel like coming from that, I think kids that are coming up, I think the parents should try more harder, but I understand the situation that's going on. The economy is messing up the parents, who are brand new, who just barely had a child, and they can't find the time because their work wants them in more than spending time with their kids. But my parents is the opposite. They're still very traditional, as I may speak. Like you hear that my daddy goes to work, and my mom is a stay-at-home mom. Traditional family structure. And that's about it for my situation. What I'm saying, I have a little bit better situation than my parents are, because I do say I'm thankful for my mom. I know she tried hard to tell me read, but she saw the potential was low for reading for me, because my mom, she's a bookworm growing up too, and and she stopped reading to the same thing because our phones, you know. So yeah, my only message, hope. You know, I do have hope for this new upcoming people, or new generation, people like to say. You know, because they always want to bully the next generation. I'm not one of them to bully. All I can say, just hope that, you know, just fix little mistakes that the previous generation did. You know, just fix a little bit and you'll be fine. You know, and also do your best. And also in this day and age, nobody knows how to read anymore and knows how to write. And people get shocked once people know how to read or have social skills. So that's my only hope for me and for the upcoming people who are going to school or getting homeschooled or unschooling that I'm hearing this new term. So yeah, so that's about it for this video. So my name is Jubal, and see ya.